Hello again, YouTube. On this video, I figured I'd explain you guys that going to the track for the first time, if you're wondering what you should do before you go to the track, how you prepare your bike. So I was in the track like a week ago. I didn't took out all the things I was doing for the bike yet. So before I'm going to take all those things off, it's good opportunity to actually explain you guys what I was doing here. I'm sure some tracks have different rules, but all in all, it's pretty much same. So some people might need to tell you need to zip tie your kickstand, for example. It's nothing we don't require to do. So I'm just going to show you the basics. First thing I did is covering my headlights. You want to do that not because they care if you blind somebody or something like that. It's just because if you do crash on the track, they don't want all those pieces all over the place, and that's make a lot of sense. So you use one of those blue tape that doesn't hurt your paint. You don't have to try to make it pretty and all that. You can just put it on. I had just the whole Saturday to work on the bike before the next day was a Sunday to have my track day, so I just decided to cut it off and kind of make it look decent. But it's not a beauty contest, it's a track day, so just do whatever you want. That type of a tape is a tape that you use when you're painting, I guess, so it doesn't damage your paint in any way, it doesn't peel it off or something like that. So you will need to cover your headlights. Second thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take off your mirrors. What I did is, they do sell some kits that actually cover this piece right here, and you can have the screws and it's all nice and neat. I actually did not have the time to go ahead and buy it, and so what I did, I just cut a piece of plastic, put two zip ties here just to make sure everything holds, because that's what actually most of the force that will hold your windshield. So that was my solution. When I was going through the inspection of the track, nobody said anything about it, so I guess it's a good thing to do. And again, you can choose whatever you want to do. You just make sure you take off your mirrors and put something here. Just don't leave it loose, because in the speeds that you're going to go on the tracks, that thing will fly off, so keep it on there. Let's move on forward. Oh, sorry, back. Before we move to the back of the bike, there is one thing you guys should know. Normally what we all have is the regular coolant. It's probably like the green water, and there is some type of oiliness inside those water. They do not let you have those kind of coolant on the track, and the reason is, if you do crash and something happened to the bike physically and the water start leaking, what happens is you're going to be leaking oil pretty much on the track. They don't want that. It's a safety feature that I'm sure we all understand. So what I did, I just took out all the water. Obviously I flushed everything. That was a good opportunity to clean the whole system, and I put something called engine ice. Engine ice, I think it's a good solution, because you can ride it there on the streets and you can ride it in the track, and you don't need to change back and forth between the coolant that you use in your radiator. So it's pretty expensive. It's like $20-something per small bottle of water, but you're going to need probably two of those for $600. Not that much of a big expense. Again, it's kind of expensive for coolant, but it's not a big deal. $40, and you're good for the next 2 years. Unless you have any leak or something that you need to add. Obviously we don't like leaks, so fix it if you do. If everything is right with your bike, like I was saying, 2 years pretty much with those engine ice water, you're going to be just fine. Going to the back, I was zip tying my rear foot pegs here. That's another thing, reason you want to do that, and you are required to do that, at least in the track I'm going to. Because if you slide or something, they don't want this one to actually cut up in the floor. It might gonna cause the bike to, I guess, I don't know, crash even worse, or like someone get cut up in your leg or any part of your body or whatever. So just do that. Pretty simple. It's like 2 seconds. You can also use a tape if you don't have the zip ties. It's not a big deal. Just make sure it's secure. It doesn't move anywhere. Going to the back, that's an important part, because if you don't want any delays before you go on the track, you need to put some tape on your rear brake. And the reason you do that is not just because if you crash, they don't want to have those pieces on the track. It's also because you're not supposed to allow other people behind you to see you braking. That might cause some accidents on people because they see you braking, they get scared and just hit the brakes, and we don't want that to happen. So make sure when you cover those real brake lights, you just cover it really good and test it before you go on the track. Make sure you can see the lights turn on when you hit the brake. If you didn't do it correctly, they will get your attention to it, and you will need to fix it. So just save yourself time and just do it home. Also, another thing you can do with the brake light, just you can disconnect the brake lights if you have the patience to do that. I didn't, but it was just fun like that. Also, your signal lights and your tag, you will need to take all those as well. That's pretty simple to understand. Just put a tape. You don't use your blinkers either way, so just put one layer, glue it nicely there, that it will not fall off, and you're good to go. One more thing that I would recommend you guys to do is clean and lube your chain before you go there. You're gonna be really abusing your bike on the track, so make sure it's all clean, oiled up, and I will even do that a couple days before, and maybe even ride the bike for a little bit. And if there is any excess oil, just went some places like on the tire, on your rim, whatever, just clean it. Make sure, because you want to be ready for the track. Oil change. I did not change my oil before the track day because didn't been through so much time since I did my oil change, and I don't see any reason to do that. But if you are kind of close to doing to do your oil change, I would definitely recommend to do your oil change, even if it's a little bit earlier, just in case, because again, you're really going to abuse your bike on the track. You're going to be riding on really high RPMs, you're going to go really, really fast, and you want your bike in top shape. Last thing I will say is, no, actually two things. Your tires. Make sure your tires are in good condition. If your tires are too low on tread, what's going to happen is they will not let you go on the track. And track day costs $200 and up normally, as far as I know. It's going to be sucks that you're going to get to the track, they're going to tell, okay, you cannot go with these tires on the track. You're going to have to go to one of those tire guys. They're going to rip you off. And like I was saying, I recommend check your tires before you go on the track for the first time. Now the last thing is that, no, I forgot something else, but I will get to it. Another thing, you want to go over all your bike and check all the screws, make sure everything is good on your bike, because again, you're going to abuse your bike. So make sure everything is tight, go through your manual, make sure everything is okay, and don't forget anything. Just make sure everything is tight. That's a serious thing. You don't want to have something flew off your bike while you're riding the bike. What was the other thing I was talking about? Okay, maybe I guess the protection, frame sliders. If you don't have like a race bike that you're using on a track only, even though I know those guys also put the frame sliders, use that, because those fairings are pretty expensive and you don't want to crash your bike and have no protection to the fairing itself. You can get this bike beat up really bad if you fall. I guess that's it. Just be careful and have fun, because I can promise you, if you never did that before and you're like me and doing it for the first time, I can tell you that my first time was something that I can't even describe how special day was that, because it just felt right to this bike. It's like this is what this bike meant to do. So you guys gonna have a lot of fun. Take it slow, pay attention to the control riders, you will have a lot of fun. So good luck and don't crash. Bye.